Welcome back, art friends. We are going to learn how to draw a polar bear today. You're going to follow along with me, so grab your pencil, a black marker, and some crayons. Put your paper in portrait mode, long ways up to top, not side to side like this, but up and down like this. At the bottom of the page is where we're going to start. We're going to make two rainbow-like lines starting almost to the edge of our page, almost to the end, leaving just a little space. We're going to draw our first rainbow arch, and it's going to stop almost to the middle. We're going to scoot over just a little bit, leaving a little bit of a gap. Maybe put your finger there to leave a gap. And we will draw one more arch almost to the edge of our paper there. And you want them to be close to the same size, but if they don't match exactly, that's okay. Then we'll add a curved line, this time a vertical curved line going one way to the left, and then an opposite curved line. We'll do the same thing to the other side, curving, and one more to the curve. So the curves that you are drawing match the outside curve. Matches here, this one matches here. Then we're going to add a very similar line that curves like a rainbow that stops right on top of the ones you just drew. So starting here in the middle of this arch, curving up and down to almost the middle and stopping at the top of this one here. At the top of my page, I'm going to leave a very small gap. I could even put a little dot there if I like. And I may even put some dots on the side over here to guide me so I don't go off my page. So a dot over here, a dot over there, just as my guide. And I'm going to do an arch. And I'm going to try to hit that mark. I hit it. And I'm going to come down and run right into this arch that I made here. Big curving arch. Almost off the page, almost touching the edge, but not quite. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to try to hit my mark. Slowly down and right there. Big arching line all the way around, taking up our whole page. Right here in this big open empty area, we're going to make a shape that is sort of like a rounded square. So I need to make a kind of gently curved line. And I'll do the same thing here toward the bottom, not all the way to the bottom of this line, but a little bit up higher. Very nice and gentle. We're doing this with pencil in case we make a mistake. I'm going to curve the edges of my square. So it almost looks like a square, but it has nice curved edges. And we're doing this with a pencil, so if you kind of make a mistake, that's okay. So it's kind of like a square, but it's rounded at the edges. Then we're going to do two semicircle curves that stay inside this line. And two more for the inside of the ear. Can you see it starting to turn into a polar bear? We're also going to draw a shape that's like a triangle, but it's very curved. We're going to leave a little bit of space up here for his forehead. And we're going to draw a nice curving triangle shape. Just like that. Right here in the middle, we're going to add another curving triangle shape, but it's more circular almost round, but not quite perfectly round. And then we're going to draw 2 circles, pretty small, right above this area here. And now you have this really cute polar bear. Next, you'll take your black marker, your black Sharpie, whatever you have, and we'll start to very carefully outline our bear. Any lines that you may leave that your pencil marks, if you don't trace perfectly, you can erase those pencil lines when you're all done. Try to stay on your line as best you can though, going nice and slow. Don't overhold your marker, don't squeeze it too tight, and let your arm move. You're not just moving your hand, you're moving your whole arm. Got to finish his face off in here, and then we get to add some shade and some color. Since my polar bear is going to have these eyes colored in, I'm going to color in almost all of the polar bear's eyes now with my black marker, but leave a tiny little white spot. Anywhere on the eye is fine. And this will give a reflection. Last, I'm going to trace his ears. Now, since polar bears are white, we're mostly going to leave him white like the piece of paper that we used. But I am going to color in his nose, leaving a little white area at the top. So I'll color in most of it black with my marker. And I'm using side to side coloring. And this gives his little nose a little bit of a reflection, so it looks like it's shining. Now I'm going to grab a gray crayon. If you don't have a gray crayon, you can also use black. And in my box of crayons, I have gray and black, and I'm going to show you how we could use both of those to shade. So on my polar bear, I'm going to lightly use crayon on the side of his face, very lightly pushing to add a shadow effect. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom of his face, very lightly adding a soft line of black, which almost looks gray in our picture here. And maybe a little soft curved line here so you can see his chest. And all around the lines that I colored, that I drew, and add a soft gray or black crayon line, very soft, not pushing hard, to give an effect of a shadow. We want to give it kind of a shadow. We're going to do it around his nose, under his little muzzle here, maybe even under his eyes a little bit, around his ears. This is going to make our bear look more three-dimensional and give him some shade, some shadows, make him look like he's kind of popping off the page. So you're basically going around the entire area that you drew with a nice soft black, or you can use gray if you have a gray crayon. Same idea, it'll just add a softer gray around his toes, around his paws. Very light, very quick, Not pressing hard, very quick, very fast, staying inside the lines as best I can. Adding some shade and some value and some shadow there. Gave him a very nice three-dimensional look. Makes him look like he's popping off the page. All right, now we're going to switch and add some color. You can use whatever color you want for the background. I'm going to use a nice dark blue, and I'm going to use the color indigo. And when I color in a background, I can leave some stars. I can draw some stars if I want to. I can also just draw maybe some circles and some stars. If you don't know how to draw a star, just do circles or just do the best you can trying to draw them. And everywhere that I have drawn my circles and stars, I'm going to leave that area white. And around it, I will color blue. But you can choose whatever color you want to. I'm going to try to color in the same direction because that makes my artwork look nice and finished and neat and not sloppy. And wherever I leave those white areas, it's going to kind of look like snow or snowflakes or stars. And you can do that as many times as you want all over your page. The more you make, the less coloring you have to do. If you know how to draw snowflakes, you can do that. And then we'll just keep coloring and filling in our paper until it's completely colored in with nice strokes going the same direction. Nice and soft. I'm not pushing hard, very lightly. Go ahead and keep coloring until your page is full, and I will do the same.